I'm Henry Moore III, and this is How to Mogul. Today, I'm going to be showing you Podio and how to create a seller's lead app inside of Podio. Now, this helps us investors keep track of the seller leads that we get. Now, I know for me, I'm organized, but I'm a little disorganized too, just because I move around a lot. So without Podio, I would have papers, different pieces of paper, napkins, receipts, anything else that have people's names on it, phone numbers. I don't have all the information in it, and it'd be all over the place. I don't have it in one place. When I have Podio, I could put everything in the Podio, and I have it with me on my phone because they have, iPhone apps. They have Android apps too, and it's web-based, so I can just kind of log in. I can see what's going on. And if you're working with other people, it helps too, because you can share it with different people and people can add to what you are doing. So it's a great resource and tool, and it's free. I know they recently changed it that after 500 items, you have to pay. But even then, it's only $9 a month. It's not that big a deal. And today, we're just going to be setting up for something very simple, just so you can keep up with your seller leads. Now, I'm not going to start from scratch signing up from Podio. I think that's straightforward. I think y'all can get that. Now, the way it's organized is you have an organization. So let's say the organization is your company name. Your company name is, Main Street Real Estate. Under that, you're going to have a workspace. So the workspace is going to be Real Estate Raleigh for us right now. Below that, you're going to have apps. These things up here are the apps. So when you first start, you're not going to have anything at all up here. It's going to be blank. So we're going to have to add things to that. One of the first things you're going to want to add is a seller lead app, something that you can kind of keep track of those sellers. So what you're going to do is just click on Add App. You want to create your own. You want to go to the marketplace. They got a app market. So I'm just going to create my own. Again, it's a straightforward, and I'll show you how to do it. I haven't looked at it lately. I might even put some apps in here to kind of help people out because I get asked a lot. So let's go ahead and go to create your own app. App name. I'm just going to call it Seller Leads 4 because I created a bunch of seller lead app in here. So I just want to make sure I can keep track of them. Seller Leads 4. Bam. I'm not even going to go through what these other options can do. You could change the app icon if you want. I'm just going to put a little person on here because these are people that we're talking to. And we'll have that little icon, as you see the little icons up there, that will represent your Seller Leads app. Let's go ahead and create app. Now what it's going to straight take you to is your edit portion of the app. So the first thing we're going to want is we want to go ahead and put the seller's name in there. Now, how we do that, we're going to take one of these fields and drag it over to the left. Like you see that this A represents text. As you see, as soon as I click it and drag it, it comes over to the side, or I might be category, drag it to the side. And you can kind of drag these up and down. When you get to the little grabber part, you can drag them up and down as you need. All right. And then if you want to cancel it out, just hit the little X. And when you want to edit, you just click on there and you can type whatever you want. I'm just going to have to take this out. So this kind of makes it easy. So you don't have to, to me, it makes it actually less complicated. In fact, you can drag and drop. I like that. So the first thing we're going to need is the seller's name, seller name. Now, when you click this little arrow, you get a couple of options for the text. And you want to make sure you got on single line. The multi-line is going to give you like that box. The single line is just like a single space, like one line of text. So you can type something. So for a seller's name, we're not going to need a paragraph. All we need is a single line. And I think that's kind of straightforward too. The next thing we're going to need is the seller's phone number. This is something that we're going to want to keep up with. So we'll just put seller's phone. Awesome. What's next? Let's keep up with the property address, and I'm going to use the location to do that. I like using location, so as I type it in, I get the exact address with the zip code for the property address that they're giving me. So let's go ahead and put property address. Another thing we're going to need, email. It's good to get the seller's email, so when you want to put them on a drip campaign, or if you want to email them contracts, emails are important. So you may want to ask the seller, like even when you're first talking to them, like, hey, so is it okay I get your email address so I can send you the offer as soon as we're done? And most of the time, they kind of give it to you if they're interested in selling your house. That should be not a big deal, especially they know you about to send an offer to them. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make a category for the next action. Now, let me see if I can go ahead and just bring up one of these. I'm going to bring up a dummy seller lead right quick so I can show you what that does. And I'm working with a couple of screens here, so let me just go ahead and drag this down. All right. So the category allows us to create these buttons here. So you create the button, and it's kind of an easy visual way to kind of see where you're at for the next action. And all we're going to focus on the next action. Don't worry about the stage lead and things like that. The way this is, the other one was set up, it actually does, automatic tasks and stuff. We're not worried about that. We just want to make sure we keep up what's the next thing you have to do with the seller. So we're just going to create a simple category with these buttons to help you out. All right. So got the seller address. Now we want category. Again, drag and drop one under the email. And we're just going to put next action. So the first action we're going to put on here is just new lead. When it starts out, it's just going to have new lead. And if you see new lead, you got some work to do. You need to go ahead and get some information. After you gather all the information, you're going to have to research the lead. So now you're going to be looking up your comps, the ARVs, and you're going to take all that repair stuff so you can go ahead and get ready to submit an offer. Right. The next thing we're going to need is follow-up. Sometimes you can't get up with the person. We're going to have to follow up with them. And it's good that we know, like, all right, maybe every Thursday. It's good to always set like a certain day that you just follow up with everybody. Maybe every 2 weeks on a Thursday, you follow up with everybody, in the system. Or maybe every Friday of the month, you just follow up with everybody. You want to stay top of mind. A lot of these people might not call you, and there's a bunch of people calling them, so you want to be the first ones to do it. The next one we're going to do is ready for offer. So this is what you're going to use. This is for when you're ready to go ahead and call and give them an offer. You're going to call and give them an offer. The next one we're going to do is offer sent, or you gave them the offer and you're just waiting to hear back. So I kind of don't like these situations, but it happens. And most of the time when this happens, you're probably going to have to follow back. Sometimes they don't follow up with you right away, but it just depends on the situation. The next part we're going to have is offer rejected. Don't get discouraged if they get rejected. It happens. And what you want to do is get ready for your counter. So your offer rejected, maybe go back and try to see if you can go back with, a counter offer. The next thing that can happen is you're going to refer to a realtor. So some people, they want retail, and that's fine. If they want retail, if you can't talk them down, it's always good to try to have some realtors that you can give them some leads. Because if you give them leads, they will bring you leads. Realtors are good to have around. Or if you're a realtor, you can refer to yourself and get that commission. One of the other steps is it's under contract. Cool, it's under contract, and we need to find a buyer. So we got under contract, you need to find a buyer. Finding a buyer is what gets you the money. So after you do that, you find a buyer, you should be setting a closing date. All right. And you won't really be setting the closing date. This will be by the title company or by the attorney, depending on what state you're in. North Carolina, we don't do title companies. We do it by the attorney. The next thing we're going to have on here is actually close deal. So it's finished. And we're going to have dead. The lead is dead. There's nothing else to do. And I think that's all you need. If they're not interested, they need to be on a follow-up. Unless they called you, said, we're tired of you calling us, you could put them as dead. But also kind of cool too. They actually give these little color things here. So maybe you want to put dead as, a red one. Close the deal. Maybe that's blue. I don't know. You can kind of do whatever you want for this. I try not to get too hung up on it, but as you start going through these things, the color codes do help. Like if it's referred to a realtor, you don't need to look at it no more. It's red, Offer rejected, you need to get on that. Maybe you want that to be something else. Offer rejected. Maybe you want that to be yellow. All right. Let's see what the next part. Next part we're going to do is we're going to start getting information for the house. So the first thing we're going to need to know is like, all right, how many bedrooms we got? And I'm going to use category for that too. So it's just something that we can just click as you're talking to the seller over the phone. So just do 1, 2, and just go to the next item. I'm just clicking off of the field. And that's kind of what I'm doing to kind of, get it to go to the next thing. 5. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of finicky a little bit. So even with the complex calculation stuff, that's why it's good just to have something simple. I go up to 5. I doubt that you get a house up to 5, but if you do, you have all the numbers there. Not a problem. And these is easy to go back and edit as well. So it's not really a big deal if you do run into a house that goes past that. Now we want to know the bathrooms as well. So we'll do another category. Make sure I put the S on there. Now for the baths, we'll go in halves. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. And basically a half bath is just, a bath without a shower. A shower, bathtub. Matter of fact, one's with just a shower in a tub. I think they call it like a 3/4 baths, but I'm not going to get too technical on that part. So I'll just do this up to 4 since I got 5 bedrooms. Again, if you need more later, it's not a big deal. This is kind of flexible, and you can always add it later if you want. All right. So past the bedrooms, we're going to want to know the size of the house, and that we'll do in a text. We do a text field, and if you click on here, and we're just going to do a single line. That's all we need for the size of house. Here, you're going to put in the square footage. So let's see, size of house. And square footage, cool. The next thing we're going to need is, sorry, I'm just like trying to look at my notes while I do this. I like to know the year it's built. So year built, go down here, make sure it's a single line text. Awesome. Current condition of the house. We're going to do that as a category. So we say current house condition. And we'll just give, like 5 options. Excellent. And good. Fair. Poor. And if it's worse than poor, terrible. And this just kind of give you an overall, like, yeah, it's good, fair, kind of give you an estimate up front, like, yeah, if this is a good property, if it's the worst property, whatever it is. But under that, because that's not giving us too much information to kind of give us to do an offer unless it's terrible. You may need to know what repairs are needed. And we're going to leave this on multi-line so you have, enough room to type out everything that the seller will be saying to you about, what's going on. The next thing we're going to want to know is the occupancy, like who's in it, if anybody's in it, or if it's vacant. I'm gonna do this for a category too, because there's only so many different ways it can be occupied. So it's either occupied by the owner, it's occupied by a tenant, or it's vacant. So I'm just going ahead and make me a little button here that says owner. Owner occupied. So I just control copy this. I ain't gotta do the whole thing. Tenant. So if it's tenant occupied, that means they got a renter in it. And if nobody's in it, it's vacant. Awesome. So one other thing you want to know, is it listed? Is it listed on the MLS? And that's a yes or no, and that's why I did that as a category. So I'm trying to do better at making sure, they're capitalized, because I think it looks better. But you can do whatever you want when you're doing these. So is it listed? Yes or no? If it is listed, how much is it listed for? So that's, since we're just getting that one number, it's just a line. So listed for how much? And if it's a no, then you could just leave that blank. Not a big deal. Another good question to ask is, what is the ultimate goal for the house? What exactly do they want done, or what exactly they want to happen? And just let them talk as much as they can. Why are you getting this information? They need to be doing most of the talking. You shouldn't be doing no talking. Your job is to listen and be a good listener, and this will help you reach these deals. You want to find these pain points, so that's exactly your job while you're gathering all this data, and this will help you get, contracts. And you want to find a timeline. So if you could put in there, how fast are you looking to close? And honestly, I think that is good. This is all you really need to get started. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. Right now, you don't see anything. So when you're ready, like if you're on the phone with a seller, or in the Seller Leads 4 app, you want to click on it. Cool. The seller name is Sam Smith. What's going on, Sam? The phone number is 919-555-5555. All right. They're on 123 Main Street. See, we got the little Main Street there. We can see it on the map. That's cool. Info at some email.com. So we got an email to send them a contract. We're going to research the lead. It's 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. Maybe it's 1,200 square feet. It was built in the 80s. It's in poor condition. Needs roof, AC, whatever else. Bathroom needs repair. Whatever is needed, you go ahead and put that in there. It's vacant. So this right here kind of gives you a quick view of what's going on with the property. No, it's not listed, so you got to worry about how much. What's the ultimate goal? You can write that in there. Right? And after you do all that, because there's some options you don't have when you first put all your information in. So what you want to do is, after you get some of the information in, what I try to do really, as soon as I get the seller name in there, I try to go ahead and save it. As you see, you get the comment section, and you also get the task section. I don't know why I can't talk right now, but you get that section in there too. Now, what I try to do anytime you're inputting a lead, always put something in the task. You want to make sure you stay to follow up with somebody. So let's say you talk to them and it's like, cool, you're researching the lead. You already got that click, but you want to set a task for yourself saying like, all right, maybe it is research the lead or call the county. I'm going to call the county. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to assign it to myself. And we're going to have that done today by 3 p.m. Yeah, call county. And you shouldn't even have to call the county. How about look up property on county website for owner's name. You want to make sure the person you talk to actually owns the house. So that's one of the first things I like to do is make sure they actually own it. So you can create this task for yourself. So when you go to the dashboard, this task, like you see it here, you see it got you a check mark. When you actually go to the dashboard of the app, you actually see it to the right. Like, oh yeah, this is one of the tasks that I need to do for the day. I need to do this by 3 o'clock. Does that make sense? Of course it makes sense. So if you need any help besides that, just, put it down in the comments. So you send me a message. I help you out where I can. And the next video I'm going to do the buyers. But that should be good for now. If you need anything else, just let me know. Peace.